Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and place to be, it's Deb C. Bloop, that's me. Boop, Deb C. Hey guys, happy Friday, and listen, in case you didn't know, today is the first day of today is the start. At 4:30 was the start. 4:30 Eastern Standard Time was the start of my December vacanza. I have 3 weeks off that I take off every single year. That is 1 week or 3 weeks I take off. 3 weeks I take off every single year. That is the week of my birthday in June, a week in November, and a week in December. And I was telling my mom, there was I remember one glorious time a couple years ago where I took 2 weeks off in December. I would love to do that again at some point. But anyways, yes. So this starts my week off. Oh, I'm loving it. Okay. So listen, I grabbed my water and grab your beverages because last night was the premiere of season 15 of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Are they going to be giving us the same old boringness? I'm thinking probably. Last night I made a lot of my notes last night, so I just did a quick rewatch today. On Watch What Happens Live was Kyle Richards and Congressman Robert Garcia from the 42nd District in Los Angeles, in California, in Southern California. And he was, let me just tell you, he is a Bravo super fan. And in 2024, he actually used the quote from Heather Gay, from season 4's finale, timelines, screenshots, timelines, proof, everything. He used that. So they had him on. He was good. But yeah, so let's talk about season 15, episode 1. We start off with Dorit goes and visits Bose at home, and we find out that PK was seen in the press, was found by the paparazzi kissing up on a Dorit 2.0, or as Bose calls her, the Sheen Dorit. Well, Dorit didn't take that kindly. She didn't wait until the day after she saw that. She went directly to her lawyer. She did not pass go. She did not collect $200. She went straight to her lawyer. She filed for divorce. The question was, when does he see his kids? He sees his kids. He travels a lot, so he sees his kids when he's in town on a Saturday. And that's how often he sees the kids. But yet he's going to file for joint custody because he has to save face. Because to the public and in the public eye, he has to make it look like, oh, he cares so much for his kids. I'm not saying he doesn't care for his kids. It seems to me like maybe he cares a little bit more about going out and partying. Because remember, before they had, last season, I think it was, he wanted her to go back to being like that sexy ghost or whatever, that sexy ghost that they would go out when they would go out before they had kids, I guess, and they would socialize and party and have fun. He wants to look like he's some kind of, like I care about my kid. Maybe he does. He doesn't give that off to me. Okay, so Dorit filed, but she then didn't hear from Kyle until like 4 days later, which in my mind, there's 2 things I thought of. Number 1, I was like, oh, wait a minute. If she waited for 4 days, is she like still texting PK is she kind of like, whose team is she on? And also, Dorit, and I was confused too, but Dorit was confused because at the end of the finale last season, or at the end of the reunion, it seemed like maybe Kyle was like, yes, let's get together. Let's try and repair this friendship because we're going to need, both of us are going to need this friendship. And that, her waiting 4 days after seems to say otherwise. Okay, so speaking of Kyle, so Mo is out of his bachelor pad. He's renting a house in Beverly Hills. Also, so Sophia and Portia are the only ones who are at home. Alexia is engaged. And I thought that was so sweet. Her fiance, they've been like best friends since 3rd grade. I thought that was so sweet. So this is going to be her first daughter that gets married, because Farrah was engaged, but then that was broken off. Okay, and Alexia had said that, listen, neither you or Dad can bring a date to the wedding, which I wouldn't think that Kyle would. I wouldn't think that Mauricio would either. But Mo, listen, the crazy thing with Mo was caught kissing a woman in public, like a PDA at the Chateau Marmont, which is like, everybody knows it. It's public. So he was at the valet station making out with a woman. And he was like, what? I didn't know that I thought we were private. I thought that at the valet station. And listen, I don't, honestly, part of me feels like Mo actually does those kind of things to get back at Kyle for like, when a few seasons ago, when Morgan was first brought in and there were pictures of them together. I mean, he did say, I'm not trying to hurt you on purpose. There's part of me that thinks he's doing that to like get back at her, is all I'm saying. I'm going to tell you what, Kyle and Mauricio, they raised some good kids. Like, there's none of her daughters that make me cringe. I don't know. I think they raised some good kids. Okay, listen, the new addition, Rachel Zoe, I die and I go bananas. I love it that Rachel Zoe is back on Bravo. I say back on Bravo because she was, listen, before any of these other women even knew what Bravo was, Rachel Zoe was there in 2010 with the Rachel Zoe Project. Did I love that show? I watched that show religiously. I loved the Rachel Zoe Project. Rachel Zoe became friends with Paris Hilton. And then she became friends with, that just then moved on to Kathy Hilton. So she's besties with the Hiltons. Now, as soon as I heard that Rachel Zoe was going to be coming on, she is the fashionista. So I thought, is Dorit going to get jealous about this? But it doesn't seem like she is. It seems like it might be a good friendship. It looks like they're going to bond over divorces. Like, they're going to have a lot in common with that. Rachel Zoe means business. She got her start. Did she say with Calvin Klein? And she has styled, like, she worked with boy bands and pop stars. And just the number of people that she styled is bananas. She has like 40 different licensed brand extensions. So, I mean, she knows what she's doing. So her and her husband, Roger Berman, they had been together for 33 years. They were married for 26 years. And then it was like 18 years before they had children. So her and her husband had divorced. She said she's trying to be friends with him, but they're not there yet. She had said basically after they had kids, things just changed. It changed them. They outgrew each other, but really the thing that really did it for her, and the one biggest regret she has, was that they worked together. They ended up going into business together. Here's the crazy thing. After they separated, it only took him like 4 months to move on. And he was out. And he was out and about, like, public about it all. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I really like Rachel Zoe on this show, because here's the thing. Rachel Zoe, she is a self-made millionaire. She did it all on her own. She is smart. She is fashionable. But here's the thing that I like that she does. She says everything. She says whatever is on her mind comes out. And she is not going to be one of these people who's like, I'm sorry that I said that. Listen, she says what she says. I like that about her. I have heard that when people meet her in public that she can be like icy, but I feel like, to be honest with you, I feel like that is like on brand for her. I don't want to say that her brand is being bitchy, but she's aloof. And that, I don't know. I'm glad that she's on. I'm super glad that they decided to put somebody new. Now, if they could just get rid of some of these other women and put on new people, then I would love that. Okay, so Erica and Kyle, they meet up. They are going to be going over to Sutton's for lunch with Reba. The less time that we have to have that woman on our screens, the better for me. And she says, once you meet Reba, you're going to see, it explains like why Sutton is the way Sutton is. Listen, I said it since last year. Sutton is Reba's daughter. Reba's daughter through and through. Okay, so Sutton is having the ladies over. She's having Erica, Kyle, and then Kathy comes over a little bit later. She's having them over for lunch. And since Augusta last season, Sutton and her mom's relationship is much better. But listen, I'm going to tell you, I don't know that anybody else noticed this or is going to say anything about this, but honestly, remember whenever Sutton brought Garcelle and Kyle down to Augusta and they met Reba, and Reba, when she met Garcelle, I thought she was a little aloof. I thought she was I don't want to say rude, but I thought she was, yeah. And then when she met Kyle, oh, you're so pretty and this now. Listen, it was the same thing with when she met Erica. She is much nicer when she is meeting somebody who is not as melanated, is all I'm gonna say. You don't have a lot of melanin in your skin? She's gonna treat you just fine, is all I'm saying. And here's another thing. Erica walks in, oh, hi, hello, Erica walks in and Sutton is now, she's like, oh, it is so good to see you. I'm so happy you're here. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Listen, now that Garcelle is not there to protect you, and you went and burned a lot of bridges, you don't have a lot of friends in this group, Sutton. So now it's eating crow, and now you have to like kiss everybody's ass because you don't have protection anymore. That's what you were using Garcelle for. You weren't using her. You weren't in a friendship with her. Like, she's watching this. She ain't gonna watch this. Oh, I'm so bitter. I'm so bitter. So they get to talking, and the question comes up about Avi. Avi is gone. And I think the winner in that situation is Avi. She says, well, yes, I let him go. I let him go. And like I said, the winner in that situation is Avi because she treated him terribly. To say she treated him terribly is an understatement. She was ignorant to him. She just was terrible to him. So what happened between them? Oh, she says nothing happened, but it's so sad. They were like, she's like, he was like a family member to me. He was my friend. He's one of my best friends. And he was like a family member. Listen, you know that there is more out there because she's like, it's complicated. I'm going to tell you, I don't know this for certain, but in my opinion, he probably left because he was getting tired of being treated like an asshole. And if he left, I wouldn't blame him. She was saying, oh, my kids aren't in the house anymore. I don't need a personal assistant. Avi didn't take care of, I guarantee you, Avi didn't take care of the kids. The kids probably took care of themselves. It was Sutton. So what happened? Are you running low on money because of this annulment or what? Here's the thing. She said, they asked, are you still talking to him? She says, well, I thought we were on good terms, but it's complicated. It's complicated. Listen, I tell you what's not complicated. The fact that Avi and Garcelle took a picture on the red carpet of Garcelle's movie premiere. And I love that. And if that was done on purpose, I love it even more because sometimes I can be petty, super petty. I love that. I love that level of pettiness. And speaking of Garcelle, then it turns to Garcelle because she didn't even have a diamond this season. She's not on the show anymore, but they're going to keep talking about her, okay? Garcelle's out there living her best life. Garcelle is looking beautiful. The best revenge is living the good life, is just living it up. And she's doing that. And good for you, Garcelle. But everyone's so confused. I don't understand what happened. I don't understand why we're not friends anymore. We're going to get into that later. So the ladies go outside. They're sitting around. And, Christian, Sutton's ex-husband, he asked the Catholic Church for an annulment. And it was granted. And the reason as to why he was asking for an annulment is so they can become better friends. So we can become better friends. Sutton got an email saying he petitioned the Catholic Church for an annulment, and then a letter was sent to Sutton advising it was annulled. It was not addressed to Sutton Strack. No. It was addressed to Sutton Brown. Wow. And Reba, listen, I don't agree with a lot of things. But there could have been the message behind that could have been, you don't matter. Now the kids, I believe the kids will still have Strack, but we're going to be calling her Miss Brown. So there we go. Now, I don't know if that affects the money that she gets. I'm going to have to Google that. In the comments, somebody tell me if an annulment affects like her cash arrangement every month, because she gets a hefty cash arrangement. Okay, Kyle says that she's going to be having like a summer, like a kickoff to summer party at her house. Everybody's going to be there. Dorit's going to be there. And speaking of Dorit, Kyle says that their friendship is a work in progress. They have to be around each other for it to like progress more. The talk turns to that photo, the picture of PK kissing his girlfriend out in public. I agree. I'm not going to agree with a lot that Sutton says. However, she is correct. That was absolutely done on purpose. You mean to tell me that he thinks that if he goes out in public and starts kissing somebody that is not his wife, that people aren't going to take pictures and the paparazzi isn't going to say anything? You're wrong. That was done on purpose. Kyle says, listen, no, I'm not to defend PK, but I don't think he knew that picture was being taken. Once again, do you hear the ridiculousness of that? I mean, it's like when Mo was anywhere, and he's kissing up on somebody who's not his wife. You have to know that's going to be taken. Not to defend PK. That's why it's making me think that she is still kind of like in PK's corner. And Sutton asks very nicely, very kindly, not like before, but she says asks do you still talk with him? And she says, I don't talk to PK, but I haven't severed ties. Okay. But we know that Dorit later in the season gets together and has lunch maybe with Mo. We saw that from the previews. Okay. So once again, at home with Rachel, and she was talking listen, the summer that she had gotten divorced was brutal on her. So now when she comes home, it's not to a man. She doesn't have a man in her house, and she loves it because when she comes home, it's just it's a calm home. She's happy, and she doesn't want to come home to all that stress, to what that does, the stress that it puts on her system. Just on her neurological system, and just it just makes her happier. Like I said, she said that working with her husband put a huge strain on their marriage. And it sounds to me it really does sound to me like her ex-husband might spend more time with his girlfriend than with his sons. The one son that was there, he is very with it, he's a smart kid. He's a good kid. I feel like the way that she handled it was how it should be done versus how Dorit's doing it. I think her son is very well adapted. Okay. Next, Bose and Erica meet for dinner. Erica was over in England. She was playing some big music festival. She was waiting to go on stage, and then she had gotten a ding on her phone, I guess, saying that Tom is being sentenced to prison. She was saying there's a part of her that would like to see him again, but to me, she has seen the last of him. I think the next time she sees him is maybe going to be at a funeral. She's not going to see him again. Now listen, there was a rumor that she was flirting with a much younger fellow Bravo star. Who is it? If somebody, I'm going to get, listen, I always say it in the comments, put who it is. I'm going to go after this and I'm going to find out who it is. And when the producer asks her about it, she's like, it's none of your damn business. So once again, it seems like this is going to be a season where like she tells nothing. Like she gives us absolutely nothing. Surprising, shocking. Erica, the talk then went to Avi and to Sutton. And Bose is like, listen, I can't trust someone who is going to be so inconsistent. Like you go from yelling and screaming at people during the season to showing up like a quiet church mouse who doesn't, say a peep unless spoken to, at the reunion. And Sutton has really lost a lot of friends now. She has gotten into fights with just about everybody. With everybody on the cast. And she doesn't have Garcelle there, who would always have her back. So I don't know what she's going to do this season. I mean, it's probably going to be a boring season for her because she's just going to be sucking up and, she doesn't have that protection now. And also, when you lose two people like that, because you can't convince me that Avi didn't just leave. I mean, you can't convince me. If you lose two people, that's telling me that you're the problem. I mean, we knew that she was the problem. But everybody, like, Bose, Erica, and Kyle are all like, hey, we just want her to be more consistent. Okay, so Kyle's garden party. Keely and Bose are still together. He's driving her over to the event because Bose and Keely and looks like Bose's aunt and her daughter are going. They're still together. I thought I believe I had seen that they are engaged now. I think so. Kyle says that she's looking forward to getting to know Bose. Bose was like, listen, last season she was icy. She really didn't open up to me. If Kyle opens up to me, then we'll be friends. But if she doesn't, then we will be acquaintances. Now, listen, a little bit earlier on when Sutton was getting ready, she was talking to Kyle and she had said that she would like to be friendly with Sutton. Like she's going to try. But when Dorit arrives at the party before Sutton, she's like, she said, oh, Sutton who? She's not up for being friends with her. She's like, I can be cordial, but I don't have to be friends. After last season, if I were Dorit, I wouldn't want to be friends with her either. After how she was last season. No, thank you. Okay. So Sutton shows up. The question is, what happened with Garcelle? I don't understand this. I do not understand how you were in the room and you saw what was going on, and then you could watch this back and you could see what was going on. How are you now still asking what happened? I don't understand. She blocked me. I had to find out from the press that she unfollowed me. Well, I don't understand. I was looking to become Kyle. I was looking to become friends with her. I don't understand. The reason why this happened is because she was a friend to you, Sutton. She was a friend to you. But for you, it was just an alliance. It was an alliance for protection for you. For her, for Garcelle, it was a friendship. She left because you didn't have her back. After her having your back all the time, constantly, the one time she really needed you to have her back, when she was getting piled on by everybody, you didn't. Instead, when Garcelle walked off, what Sutton did was Sutton stayed right where she wanted to be. You knew all along, if given the choice between being friends with Garcelle or being friends with who she thought was the cool kids, you know, Kyle. She was so worried about Kyle. Earlier in the season last year, she was like, I will not bow down to the altar of Kyle Richards. Oh, how quickly that changed. What you should have done, Kyle, or Sutton, what you should have done, Sutton Brown, was whenever your friend Garcelle walked off, you should have followed behind her. Not sat there and talked about her. I don't know why she walked out like that. And then afterwards went back and was all, why did she leave? We were supposed to have supper. I don't understand why everybody, listen, Helen Keller could understand and know why, you know, what happened. So, listen, and then Dorit was like, well, do you think it was more of an alliance? Do you think it was more of an alliance for her than it was a friendship? No, don't give me none of that bullshit, Dorit. You didn't like Garcelle either because Garcelle called you out, as she should have. No, listen, you know who it was an alliance for? It was an alliance for Sutton Brown, because she knew that Garcelle would have her back. And that's why she could get bold. But that ain't gonna be happening now. Because these women, listen, these women, they don't want some kind of friendship with you. You blew up all these bridges a long time ago. They see what you're like. So, okay. And then the other thing that got me was in Sutton's confessional. She got all like weepy and tried to give an Oscar-worthy performance, which was more of a Razzie-worthy performance by being all like, and I don't like it. And I don't like it when they talk about her like that today. And I don't like it when they talk badly about Garcelle. If you don't like it and you didn't like it, then why didn't you say something at that time? Hey, I know we're not friends anymore, but could you not talk about her? Could you not talk ill of her? Could you not talk badly? That's all it would take. But you can't, because those are fake ass tears. Because of BravoCon, you came on out, Sutton Brown, and said about how it's a blessing that she is no longer on the show. And it's a blessing that you're not friends anymore, because now you get to further these friendship with these popular white girls on the show. So don't give all this bullshit with these tears about, oh, they want to cry. Oh, and they're talking badly about my friend. Girl, please. None of us buy it. None of us buy that shit. You're selling it and ain't nobody buying it. But Bose did say that she said something like, she said Garcelle was pissed at me because I didn't have her back. And you left her out to dry. She did say you left her out to dry. And Sutton quickly tried to move on from everything then. She has to know. She has to know. You can't be that. Listen, I don't like Sutton, but I will say from time to time, Sutton is smart. I would thought you would be smarter than this. Also, here's another thing. This doesn't have to do with Sutton, but Kathy pulled out that pair of jeans from her purse, and everybody was like, I can't believe she pulled out a pair of jeans. It's Kathy Hilton. You don't know what she's going to pull out of her purse. So Kathy and Rachel arrive. Rachel already knows Bose. They get together. Bose has been on Rachel's podcast, so they get along very well. And listen, Dorit and Rachel seem to be, they bond over the divorces. But I'm going to tell you what, the way Rachel handled the divorce with her kids versus how Dorit is handling it with her kids is like night and day, polar opposites. Rachel was like, I can't stay in a marriage. Children deserve a marriage between two parents who are happy. They can sense when you're not happy. Rachel told her kids everything. Dorit still has not. Like when she was asked, do they know? Oh, yes, they know. Did you tell them? No, she didn't come out and explicitly tell them. You're going to have to tell them because as it stands right now, she said Jagger is having a little bit of a hard time. Rachel told her kids, and they're very well adjusted. Dory can't wait until the kids are like 25 years old and sit them down and be like, hey, me and your dad are divorced, I mean, you got to tell the kids. Dorit is saying, she thinks like, as far as PK going out and partying and taking pictures with girls, she's like, I think he saw Mo out partying. And he was like, yeah, let's do that. We can do that. Rachel, listen, amen, Rachel, because Rachel came right out and she was like, listen, it's better to happen now because eventually that was going to happen. I'm loving her just coming out and saying exactly what needs to be said. Rachel then says, listen, in regards to Mo, she was in Aspen and somebody tried to set her up with Mo and she was like, are you crazy? No, I'm not doing that. That is Kyle's ex-husband. No, we're not doing that. Girl code. Good for you, Rachel. Kyle said she's kind of used to seeing Mo like out and about with other women. She's not seeing anyone. Rachel was like, listen, I know it's easier to stay in the house in your sweats and be comfortable, but you got to get out like 3 times a week. I mean, it's going to be tough, but then when you come home, you're going to feel like, so full, like my tank is filled up, and you're going to be glad that you did that. And we're going to have and she says, we're going to have a hot girl summer. And Dorit's all about that. She's like, oh, hot girl summer. So they're going to be having a hot girl summer. They're having a hot girl summer in the Hamptons, in Sedona, and in Florence, Italy. Looks like that might be Dorit's cash trip. I wouldn't be mad at that, Florence, Italy, but it looks like in Florence, there is a fallout between 3 members of the Fox Force 5, and that is Dorit, Erica, and Kyle. And then on Watch What Happens Live, Kyle was like, well, as you found out at Bravo, me and Erica are not talking to Dorit, and Dorit isn't talking to us. So there we go. Okay, so listen, was it great? No. Do I feel like it's going to be a flop of a season? Probably. So will I still watch it? Yes, I will. Okay, so in the comments, let me know if you watched and what you thought. This is a long video, so if you watched it, please put a diamond and a palm tree in the comments. And with that being said, listen, if nobody told you yet today, you're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there so it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another, and let's put kindness out there because it is free. Also, be aware of your surroundings, be smart and safe. Let us hydrate with some water. And if you're in a dangerous situation, please know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and positive energy your way so you make it through. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow for Lord knows what. I think I'm going to be making some soup. So I don't know what that was. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye.